Okay, this is your hat. Yeah. And when you say, tell the people, it was my birthday. Thank you for my birthday wishes. He is not impressed. Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So, as the title suggests, I am looking for ways to combat the rising food cost. And I happened to be watching Three Rivers Homestead, and she had a couple of ideas, which I'm totally stealing from her, but I think that they're good across the board. And while we can't watch every single channel, as you know, I want to give credit where credit is due, so this isn't all my original idea. So my son had sent me an article, and it was from the Sun, so you have to take it kind of with a grain of salt. However, we all know that we're experiencing shrinkflation. And if that's a new term to you, what that basically means is the price stays the same on an item or goes up, but the size shrinks, so you're actually paying more per ounce, pound, whatever the case might be. So this article was really interesting. So here are some of the top offenders that they named. Domino's, and they didn't specify what Domino's was doing. Subway, not only are they decreasing their chicken on their sandwiches, we all know about the chicken issue, their cookies are 2/3 smaller. Now that's a total ripoff. I'm gonna need me a big cookie. I don't eat at Subway, but still. Gatorade actually went down from 32 ounces to 28 ounces. Fritos party size went down from 18 ounces to 15.5, so I guess you better have a smaller party. Kleenex. Yeah, Kleenex, come on, what are you doing? They went from 65 tissues in a box to 60. Burger King has decreased their number of chicken nuggets, as has, I believe, McDonald's, from 10 down to 8. So those are just some prime examples. But they also listed out a lot of brand names, some of which I use, a lot of which I do not. But here we go. Crest, 7% smaller. Cottonelle and Charmin, 8% smaller. Chobani, which is a yogurt, 15% smaller. Dove Body Wash, 8%. Folgers, 15%. And I'm not going to say smaller every time, but you know the size is smaller. Keebler M&M cookies, 14%. And that is, my son's not a big sweet eater, but that is one thing he will buy. And he was like, well, I could have told you that, Mom. Such a ripoff. Game detergent, 7%. General Mills cereals, 5%. Safeguard, a soap, 20% smaller. Strawberry Quaker Oats, why the strawberries, I don't know, 20%. Sun-Made raisins, 11%. And Tostitos with a hint of lime, which are delicious, 15% smaller. So what can you do? Or maybe I should pose it this way. What did I decide to do based on watching the video over at Three Rivers Homestead? And for those of you who don't know, she is expecting her 8th child, and she lives in Northwest Ohio. All right, so one of her suggestions was periodically take a look at the 4 or 5 places that you can source products from and the top items you buy over and over. And if you're not really sure what those items are, go back to some of your receipts. I save all my receipts for that purpose. But I can pretty much tell you what I can't grow or source locally and that I have to go to the store or through Azure to buy. So I made this handy dandy little chart. So across the top here, these are what are available to me: Walmart, Aldi, Azure, and Amazon. Now, being an Ohio person, we do have Kroger. I don't shop at Kroger. Prices are way higher at Kroger, at least at this Kroger. Now, do they have loss leaders, etc.? Sure they do, but I'm not going to 14 stores because I hate to go shopping. So down this side, I just listed out some things that I don't grow or source locally. So, coffee. Figures coffee would make it to the top of the list. Tea. And I've shared with you all recently that I've changed how I'm drinking tea, and I'll share that in a moment. Bagels, which I need to make myself. Butter. Almond milk. Crackers. Sugar. I do like my sweets. Chicken feed. And wheat berries. So those were the things that I'm consistently buying from one place or another. So what I did was I went out on each of the websites. Now let me tell you this, y'all. Aldi stinks. Almost every item said, see price in store. Why? Do you not want us to price compare? Are prices changing that often that you can't even share it? That's probably more the case, and it may also be very regional, and this was, Aldi.com. But I'm like, how you going to place curbside pickup if you don't know how much things cost? I didn't go that route because my luck, I'd place the order, and I didn't want that to happen. So, for example, I use Lavazza Super Crema coffee beans. Okay, that's a little bit foo-foo, I know that. However, I get the beans 2 pounds at a time, and I have it on Amazon Subscribe and Save. So for those of you who are Amazon Prime members, if you agree to get a product on a regular periodic basis, and you can set it for like weekly, monthly, not every product, but a lot, they will give you a discount. And the more products that you guarantee you're going to buy, the bigger the discount. So I'm actually getting 15% on my Subscribe and Save at this point. So I'm paying $16.99 for 2 pounds of beans. I don't drink that much coffee. 2 pounds of beans lasts me about 6 weeks or so. So that is a pretty decent deal. Azure doesn't carry Lavazza. Aldi, of course, doesn't. And you could order it to be shipped from Walmart, but it was $29.99. So it looks like right now, Amazon Subscribe and Save is still my best deal. So I'd encourage you, if you are an Amazon Prime member, check out some of their Amazon grocery or personal care or even household items. They can be a lot more expensive or they can be cheaper. So I think this exercise is a really important thing to do. Tea bags. I use the 1 gallon Great Value family size tea bag now if I'm making tea. So I can get 24 1 gallon tea bags for $4.73. So, okay, truth. I like my tea strong, so it's really only 12 gallons for me. But when you compare that to the tea drops that were approaching $4, they're $3.90. And that probably doesn't last me, I don't know, a week. Yeah. Definitely going back to tea bags. Amazon did have Lipton, the same 24 gallon size tea bags, but it was $6.78, and that's on sale. And that was another thing I thought made price comparison hard. Some of the Amazon things are just on sale, so I don't need it today. So unless I wanted to order it today, I couldn't get that price, or maybe couldn't get that price, or maybe it'll go up, or maybe it'll go down, or maybe they won't have it at all. Welcome to Amazon. All right, bagels. Shrinkflation. The Sam's Club is what is in my Walmart instead of Great Value. And they went down to 5 bagels for the same price as the Aunt Millie's, which is $3.38 for 6. So that's the best deal I can get at Walmart. Now I know from purchasing at Aldi, I can get 6 for $1.99. pretty much all day long. So that is going to be my best bet for bagels, unless I make them myself. I did look at organic options and sprouted grain options on Azure. It was $6.03 for 6, so almost double. So as you all know, I don't use everything organic. I garden organically. If it's affordable and reasonable, I will source it organically, but I definitely don't have everything in my life organic. All right, butter. Darn that Aldi. I believe Aldi is a little cheaper on their butter prices. So for just regular old Great Value butter, it's $3.98 a pound. If I want the fufu grass-fed butter that is so delicious, from Azure, it's $5.56 now. So it has definitely gone up, where I can get the same amount at Walmart for $3.86. So significant savings. I won't be ordering the grass-fed butter through Azure anymore. You know, I have to trim y'all just the same as everybody else. With the increased cost of breathing right now, I am looking for ways to streamline what I buy, bulk buy when I can, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. All right, almond milk. I think it's cheaper at Aldi, but darn them, they don't have it on their website. So for Walmart, for the unsweetened vanilla, it's $2.36 for a half gallon. Azure does have organic almond milk, unsweetened, but it's $7.44, so it's more than triple. All right, crackers. Yeah, I know I can make my own crackers, but I like me some crackers. So, the Walmart brand is $2.24 for 16.4 ounces, and that's just your round butter crackers or whatever. Aldi, I could not tell on the website, but here's one thing I did notice. Their Savor Ritz, so it's kind of like a Ritz cracker, is only 13.7 ounces. So shrinkflation there. Organics were $4.21 for 6 ounces. Not going to do that, period. And I did look on Amazon, and the only thing I could find were Ritz crackers, and they were $5 for only 11.4 ounces. So as you're doing this, I really encourage you to make sure that, pardon me, getting the hiccups, that you're looking at ounces, because shrinkflation has struck across the board. You're going to see it. You know, why would crackers be this different size? Why wouldn't there be like, okay, here's a standard pound of crackers? Okay, I digress. Sugar. So I buy my sugar in 25-pound bags. It's $13.98 at Walmart, and that is pure cane sugar. It is not organic. Aldi does not carry, my Aldi does not carry 25-pound bags. For organic from Azure, it's $32.14, which is not quite triple, not sustainable for me. And Amazon, now they only had Domino brand. That was the cheapest price I could find. It was $36.99, so almost triple. So it was even more than the organic from Azure. So Amazon is definitely not the place for bulk sugar. Chicken feed, of course, Walmart and Aldi don't carry what I need. Azure was $41.89 for 40 pounds, and Amazon was $45.99 for 25 pounds. So infinitely better, as it's always been, to buy your feed from Azure. Wheat berries, of course, Walmart and Aldi don't either one carry those. I buy hard red and soft white. And so at Azure, hard red was $25.66 compared to $67.75 at Amazon. Soft white was $22.91 compared to $50.82. So what I did was I just went through and I just like starred the best buy. Just as a reminder, I did it in pencil so I can just erase and, you know, do it again periodically. I think that's a very good thing to keep your eye on. If something seems to be jumping in price, you may have to switch brands, you may have to switch suppliers. So I hope that was helpful to you. So then I was thinking, what else can I do? What else can I do? And I came across Jessica's video, and she was talking about planting a winter garden. Y'all, I've never done a winter garden until 2022, and I'm gonna do it. So as I was planning my spring garden, I think it's in the video, I realized I purchased a couple things that were not going to be able to be grown in the heat of the summer. I was going to have to wait until fall. And some things that you could do early spring, but it wasn't early spring by the time I planted. So my first thought was, and this is a good tool, y'all. I don't mean to insult Clyde's garden planner. So what you do is you line up your average first frost date. So in my case, that is October 19th. So once you line that up, it will tell you what crops that you will be harvesting when, and when the last planting date is, which is the little LP on this. Well, y'all, I thought this was extraordinarily confusing. I decided not to use it at all. And I have used it for other projects. So what I did was I went through all my seeds and I pulled out everything I want to grow. Now, I'm going to be limited because even though our first frost date is 10/19, I often have late garden, often. A lot of times I won't pull like my tomato plants, things like that, because they will continue to ripen, or I can harvest green tomatoes and ripen them indoors. So what I have in here, I'll just show you some of them and you'll see a theme. So I have Kyoto red carrots. I have Burpee organic spinach. I have some Baker Creek spinach. Then I have Chinese broccoli, or yod fa. I have turnips. I love me some turnips. Leaf cabbage, so this doesn't make the head. And then just regular, this is called mint lettuce, but it grows like a romaine. Yeah. And butternut squash. I can't believe I forgot to plant butternut squash. So, since I could not use the Clyde's garden planner, what I did is I took my little planner book and I wrote the date of my first frost. Then I looked up each of those different seeds. This was the other problem that I ran into. Not everything I want to plant is listed, A. B, there are a lot of different kinds of turnips and radishes and broccoli and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I actually went out to the Baker Creek website. So as you saw, most of my seeds are Baker Creek. I hope they grow. Because this is all this year's purchase. But at any rate, Baker Creek will tell you days to maturity and whether or not they're frost hardy. Because some things like radishes are frost hardy, leaf cabbage is frost hardy, spinach can be frost hardy. So there's a few things that aren't as significant as to the last planting date. But if it was 60 days to harvest, 50, 55, whatever the case may be, I simply took my last frost date, counted back, gave myself a few extra days for germination, and I'll show you what it looks like. So, in August, I'm going to have a lot of planting to do. So, spinach, butternut squash, Chinese broccoli, turnips. September, oh, and mint lettuce, if I didn't say that. So the end of September, I can plant my Kyoto carrots. And then like the radishes and some of the other things, like the spinach, can go in my veggie pod. It does have a frost protective cover. I'm hoping to be able to grow things well past our first frost date. So let's go take a really quick garden tour, y'all. A really quick one. I can really get into it, and I don't want to bore y'all to death. But let me show you where I might have some room. And this is just going to give me more fresh veg, more food, where I'm not going to have to worry about what the price of things are, because I can go in my backyard and pick it, come in my kitchen, can it, freeze-dry it, dehydrate it, preserve it, whatever. All right, stay tuned. Let's go look at the garden.
Let's say hi to the people. Yeah.
So Marigold is laying an egg. That's Fancy Ray on the right. That's Jolene, the noisemaker, on the left.
Why, Fancy Ray? And my sweet Violet that just,
I swear she's grown since I've gotten her. She's my big girl. She's not fat, she's just big. So y'all, what a huge difference this makes. And it's not even been 2 months since planting. So this is my pepper bed with some flowers. You'll see I've got lots of blooms. This bed will be a late bed. I probably will not have any space to access here. My mint and my lemon balm are going to seed. They can be cut back for a second harvest. But this bed stays full, not an auction. I harvested here my garlic. I do have banana peppers blooming here. And my onions, if y'all can see, are coming along. It won't be long. So there is some asparagus that never really does anything. But I will have a big portion of this bed that I can plant. These are 4x4 beds. My tomatoes, look at y'all, look at, those are yellows. These are red, those are slicing tomatoes. But even the tomatoes I planted, these are all Romas, are doing so well. Some more flowers. So I will baby these as long as I possibly can. My carrots, I harvested the radishes. My carrots are coming along. I should probably pull one pretty soon. And then I have some ground cherries back there. And then all the rest of this, y'all. These are Big Mac's pumpkins. Some jack-o'-lanterns with the darker green leaves. These are sugar pie. And guys, look. Look at my pumpkins. I've got lots of little sugar pies. So far, none of the Big Macs. Probably, even once I pull the carrots, I'll only have a small amount of space because by the end of the season, this whole thing will be covered in vines. It's just the way it goes. So I may have some space here. All right, over here. Let's come over. Our beans. So, my puny beans. Look, y'all, I got big old green beans. Big old green beans. I'm so excited about my green beans. It won't be long, I'll have a harvest. But my pole beans are a little further behind my bush type beans. So I will let these go as long as I possibly can. Same with, I've got yellow and green zucchini. I have some peas back there I need to pull for seed. A ton of cucumbers, y'all. Look at this. So this bed probably will not be available. My potatoes, if you can kind of see, are starting to get yellow. So as this foliage dies back, I'll be able to harvest potatoes soon. So I potentially would have 3 grow bags, and I may utilize that. My corn, y'all. Let me see. How do I do this? I never can remember how you do this. I guess this way. I'm sure that's a look you don't want to see again. It's actually pretty good size corn. It is in a raised bed, but it's up to maybe my nose and growing every day. Corn should be done, may be able to plant some things very late, like my Kyoto red carrots, if I want to winter them over all winter, and I may do that. So that's what we're looking like here. Up here on the patio, I do have strawberries, and they are starting to vine out, so I'm able to transplant and start filling up some of the holes. So this will just get covered for the winter. I'm hoping there's plenty of sweet potatoes in this. We shall see. I do have some peppers. Oh, I forgot this morning.
So I am getting a pepper harvest here, but that's, I may transplant the rosemary into my veggie pod so I can cover it. Oh, look at my green peppers. Yeah, won't be long. And they're not green, they're orange. Got plenty of lavender to harvest. And then in my veggie pod, some pepper plants, some sage, and my second planting of radishes. So I should have some pot space perhaps, but definitely some veggie pod space to add a fall garden.
Drop me a comment below. Are you planning on a fall garden, number one? And do you have other ideas that I didn't bring up in this video about combating inflation and shrinkflation and rising food prices? I will see you all a little later this week. And in the meantime, don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Share the video if you know someone that this information would be beneficial to. And as always, be healthy, be well, be blessed. Take care.